Hi, good evening and welcome to the Magic Show, where we learn simple things to make us smart and lazy through the rest of our lives. Welcome, and today's topic, as you know, is on Chrome extensions. Is everybody comfortable with extensions? How you install them on Chrome? Chrome was one of the first few browsers which allowed you to add extensions. I will repeat for those who are not very comfortable with it. I'll share my screen. Okay, you can see my screen? Yes, give me a yes or no.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so everybody understands how Chrome extensions are installed. Are we all clear, or do you want me to repeat that once? Yes or no?
Yes, I know how to do that. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, anyone has difficulty in installing an extension? I'll just quickly explain to you. It's just a one sentence instruction, but it is useful. So if I tell you to install an extension, what you will do normally is just, we are very lazy. Remember, we don't have to remember anything. So I will just type Chrome extension and then the name of the extension. Suppose I want to add an extension called Evernote. So I'll just enter this. It will show me chrome.google.com Evernote web clipper. You just click on it and it will allow you to install the extension. Just now I've already got it installed, so it will allow me to remove it from Chrome. If I did not have it, it would say install to Chrome. So you just click on it and it comes and sits here on the top right panel. Can you see my cursor? On the top right panel, you'll see I have a range of extensions. I have many more, but only so many can be displayed at a time. Okay, so I'll repeat it. Whenever you have to install an extension, what you will say is Chrome extension and then name of the extension. So whatever extensions I will be talking about, to just write the name of the extension. So if you have Evernote, or if you have something called, today we are going to look at another extension called, say, Momentum. So if you just say Momentum, so just say Chrome extension and the name of the extension. Okay. And then you will straight away go there, click on the first option there, and it will take you to the extension. Here it says remove from Chrome because I've already got it installed. If it is not installed, it will say install, and you just click on it, give the permissions, and you will install the extension. It's as simple as that. Okay, are we clear on this installation of the extension? Okay. So let's start with a very basic extension. Can you see my screen for a change? Can you see the difference? Is it a blank screen? Can you see a blank screen? Or you are seeing something populated? Whenever I go for a new tab, normally I get a blank screen. No? So here the screen is populated with something very beautiful. So you have some sort of a image behind the scene. What image it is showing you on the left bottom. It says above Cape Town, South Africa. You have a settings tab. You have some links you are on the right top, you have the city and the weather. And here you have a task list, and it also allows you to write what is your main focus for today. Okay. Now this extension is very, very simple, and there is a small saying: the mind once stretched by a new idea never regains its original dimensions. So this extension, what it does, this extension called Momentum, what it does is it gives you a very pleasant looking blank screen rather than the typical Google screen. You know what the typical Google screen is? Just a blank screen, correct? Here it gives you a very, very nice looking background. This extension is called Momentum. So if you want to install it, you just say Chrome extension Momentum. Go here, click on the first link that you get, say install. And then what it does, it will give you a brief description, daily inspirational photo and quote. You have the time, what is your main focus for today, you can enter that. You have a nice saying here, you have the city and your weather. And this is what it does. It gives you a very quick overview of what it does. You get a new inspiring photo, quote, and mantra each day. It calms you down rather than giving you a blank screen, which sometimes gets boring. So this is a very simple extension, just changes your background. Okay. And when you set it up, it will ask you your name. So obviously it will ask these questions. What is your main focus for today? You can type something. So through the day, then every time you open a new tab, it will show you the same thing. Suppose I say, this is my main site. Okay. So now whenever I open a new tab, it'll show me the same thing. I can add some tasks here, new to do. So I can say I have to plan a meeting with auditors. You can go on, and then you can even click and say this is done, this is done. So you have a to-do list here. You have a focus for the day here. You get a nice looking visual. You have the time, of course. You have the location and your weather. And of course, if you want to visit this place, you can just click on this and say visit. And it will take you to a link which is related to that place. There is much more. You can see the clock. You can see a Pomodoro. You know what is Pomodoro? No, you can't do this on the mobile. Extensions are exclusively on the desktop. Extensions are not available on the mobile. Okay, so always remember, extensions are exclusively on the desktop. There is something called Pomodoro technique. If you are going to work for long stretches of time, it is always recommended that every 15 minutes or every 30 minutes, you should take a break. So there will be a timer and it will tell you, okay, now time for a break. Okay. So that is what a Pomodoro is. You can, what is this percentage? I don't see what percentage it is. You can edit your schedule and a whole lot of other stuff you can do. If you go for a paid version, you have some other options apart from the location and temperature. You can add countdown timer, you can add a metric, or you can have a world clock. So all these are available on the paid version. Just now I am not using a paid version. So this is a very, very simple and basic. Just install it and your home screen changes beautifully. Okay. Are we clear on this? Any questions here? It's a very simple extension. Very, very simple extension. No complications. If you want more stuff, like you want the world clock, you are talking to a few people across the world, then you can have a world clock here. But all these, wherever it says plus, that means you have to pay for it. It is not available on the normal free version. And then you can turn on autofocus, which is also on plus. Okay, so you can say that on the to-do list also you want to focus on something, you can make an autofocus. You can add integration. Suppose you are having other to-do list like Todoist or something like that, you can integrate it with that. So from there it will pull up and give you the tasks for today. So a very, very versatile extension. Okay, so this is very simple. Then another simple extension is what is called Mercury Reader. You know, this we have done a couple of these earlier also. But let us see, if we go to a typical news website and you see so much information. If you remember, we have done this sort of an extension earlier also. I'm repeating it. So when you have so many distractions, it is very difficult to concentrate on what you are reading, correct? So there is something called Mercury Reader. What Mercury Reader does is it cleans up your page. So I have installed it, Mercury Reader. I just click on it and see how the page changes. You don't have any distractions. You can straight away read whatever you wanted to read. Okay. So any page, if you have, you go to any page on any website and you have a whole lot of stuff which is next to each other, some ads, something which is flashing, something which is links to other things. You just come and click on this Mercury Reader icon. Can you see this icon on the top right? Just click on it and this is how it will look. Again, very simple, but very useful. Okay. It allows you to straight away go and read something, focus on what you need to read. Just click on this icon and that's what it is. So the second extension for today is called Mercury Reader. I'll just keep on typing it so that we all get it right. First one was momentum. Second one is Mercury Reader. Okay. Now let us see what else we can do with extensions. Today we are going to do about 5 to 6 extensions and it will be very, very fast. These are very small but very useful. The next one is called Grammarly. What Grammarly does, again, there are two versions here. There's a free version and there's a paid version. So what Grammarly does, I'll just take you to Grammarly and I'll show you a demo document rather. So what it does, it checks everything in a document. So whenever you're typing a mail, whenever you're typing a report in Google Docs, when you're typing a document, what it does is it checks automatically so many things. It checks the misspellings. So it will underline them with red. If there are grammatical mistakes, it will underline them in blue. And this is done on the fly. So if I say doc.new, so I go to a new document in Gmail or Google Docs, I create a new doc. Okay. And I start typing. this is a very good example. See where the mistake is. See here on the bottom right, this guy is going on checking. Can you see this? Whatever I'm doing, it keeps on checking. It keeps on checking whether stuff is rightly written. Can you see the icon moving here? Continuously it is moving. It shows me 2. So I can go to any of these, correct your spelling. So I just click on this. It will tell me this is probably the right spelling. Just click on it. Grammarly, see it says you have spelled it wrongly. It's a proper noun. So it has to be G capital. So you click on this. No critical issues. So what all it does, it checks the correctness, it checks the clarity. So the paid version, it gives you a clarity ranking also, whether it is easy to understand or not. Number 3, the paid version also helps you to find the engagement. Is this document engaging enough for the reader? So there is artificial intelligence which is built in, and it also tells you whether this is interesting and effective. And the 4th option is it helps you to make the right impression on your reader. So these are the 4 things that it does. The free version only gives you spelling and grammatical errors. The paid version gives you all this. So if I come back to the demo document, it says misspellings. What is the correct spelling? You just click on that. Effect. Grammatical errors can affect your credibility. So it tells you affect. The same goes for misused commas. So you don't need a comma here because there is an and after that. Click on it. You say remove the comma and other types of punctuation. Now after the end of this word, there is a full stop after a space. So I don't need a space in between. Okay, it will also showed, actually it should be show. Are you getting the idea? How well it is checking each and every item, the punctuation, the spellings, the grammatical. Blue underline indicates that Grammarly has spotted a sentence that is unnecessarily wordy. So you can consider shortening this phrase and say, has spotted an unnecessarily wordy sentence, or revise a wordy sentence in an effortless. Again, this is redundant. It improves your writing a lot. So if you are doing a lot of writing stuff, Grammarly is a very, very good extension. It works anywhere on your browser. So even if you are using WhatsApp on the net, on the web, Grammarly will start working there. If you are using Gmail, for example, let us go to Gmail. And suppose I am composing a mail. When I'm writing a mail, whatever I'm doing, you can see the small Grammarly icon on the right bottom. Okay. Yes, there is a lot of options. It can give you UK rather than US spellings. What is the spelling of color in US? Okay, so it tells you in the US it should be okay. And color, suppose I spell it wrongly. There are lots of things which you can do. This checks grammatically erroneous writing, which can okay. Now I'm sorry, I cannot write a grammatically incorrect sentence. Can somebody help me write a grammatically incorrect sentence? Oh, he has given me some two suggestions here. So he says there are two advanced suggestions which are available only to premium users. But if grammar is just trying to write some nonsense. See, again, it uses add an article if the grammar is wrongly written. Certain things it is auto correcting also. So it is allowing you to go back. Okay, so I got a nice grammatically incorrect sentence. Let's see how grammatically works. Oops, it took it as an image. Sorry. Each one of us are empowered to make decisions grammatically now see the faces he is making. See how your text will sound to readers. Correct the spelling, but was wrongly written. Each one of us is. So you can just go on clicking here, and there are some. This fellow says that it is sounding neutral. It is not sounding enthusiastic enough. And premium suggestions, there is intricate text, punctuation in compound and complex sentences, passive voice, misuse, etc., etc. So if you go for premium, you will get much more suggestions, which will be very useful if you are doing a lot of writing work and if you care about what impact your correspondence is making to the opposite person. Grammarly is for you. There are a lot of settings. Correct spelling automatically, show phrasal predictions. I write in British English. This is where you change your American English, Australian English, and Canadian English. I don't know why they don't have Indian English. Okay. So there is a lot of options here. Are we clear about this? Very simple, but very useful to make changes. And automatically you can, again, coming back to the demo document, Grammarly Premium can also give you very helpful feedback on your writing. Passive voice can be fixed. It can handle classical word choice mistakes. It can also help with inconsistencies such as switching between an email and an email or the USA to the USA. When you want to refine your slang or formality level, etc., etc. In fact, you can even decide whether certain things are plagiarized or not. You can check your writing for plagiarism. So whether it is available somewhere else or it is not available somewhere else. So it tells you so many things about your writing. You can have your goals. What are the goals? Who's your audience? General, knowledgeable, or expert? Okay, these are the defaults. Formality, you want to write an informal text. You want to have a neutral text. You want a formal text. What is the domain? Depends on whether you are writing an academic paper, a business correspondence, a report, general, you are writing an email, you are writing casual, or you are having creative writing. So many liberties can be taken when you're doing creative writing, right? And what is the intent? To inform, to describe, to convince, or to tell a story. And then once you click on all this, you get suggestions based on okay, so you have correctness, clarity, engagement. It says it is a bit bland. It is very clear. Delivery is very off. And there are 13 advanced suggestions: inappropriate colloquialisms, word choice, text inconsistencies, misuse of semicolons, incorrect phrasing, etc., etc. So if you use the premium version, then you have a whole lot of stuff too. And then if you go for get expert writing help, again, if you have premium, automatically it will even rephrase the entire sentence for you. So it is very useful. Again, as I said, anywhere online, whether you are writing Google Docs or you are writing a mail or you are writing a report or you are having WhatsApp on the web, anywhere on the browser, Grammarly will start kicking in and automatically give you suggestions. Is this good? So if you are doing consistently, you are writing and writing stuff which is going to make an impact, then Grammarly is for you. The basic version you can use. I think they have some 30 days trial for the premium version also. Most of these extensions, wherever there is a premium option, they have a 30-day trial. You can try it out. If you like it, you can keep it. If you don't like it, you don't keep it, and you don't need to pay for it. Yes. And Grammarly is available on the desktop also. So you can use it on your desktop. You can use it on your browser. You can use it on your cell phone. It has multiple flavors. Grammarly is therefore a very, very useful extension. The next extension is called, I don't know why it is called Weava. W-E-A-V-A. Weava. Now, this is meant for people who are doing a lot of research online. So if you are doing research online and you have to pick multiple stuff from multiple places and then assemble it all together in one document or in one presentation or whatever, then Weava is something for you. Let us see what it does and how it does it. It's a very interesting concept. So if you're doing some research, Weava extension is somewhere here. Okay, quickly, I will, 1 second. So let me go again to any news site. Suppose I am doing some research on the situation in Ukraine and I am looking at multiple stuff. So let us see. First of all, I will go to say Wikipedia. And I would like to know where is Ukraine and what is the background and what is the historical. So I will type Ukraine here. Okay, so I want to pick up something from here. This is what I want to pick up. Okay. Now, if you see when I'm highlighting this, can you see it's something popping up here? Various ways in which I can highlight it. I can select a color. Suppose I select pink color. So now this whole thing gets highlighted. Okay. Now this is something which I have done. Okay, fine. Now I'm going to some other site. Suppose I'm going to say a news site. And I'm finding something on Ukraine, for example. Okay, and I want to highlight something from here. When you're doing research, you're picking up stuff from various places, correct? So I have taken this. Can you see the color? I can select whatever color I want. And then maybe I go to Google News and pick up something on Ukraine. I'm going to various sites, correct? I'm randomly picking up stuff, but obviously when you do it, you will do it in a very different way. Whenever I highlight stuff, automatically this pops up. Once I have installed the extension, I mark it in some different color. Now all this I have visited, I may copy paste it, but what happens is when I go to this extension called Weava, now it shows me all of it here. I'll go to the home page. It says organize your research. Now this is from a different website. Okay, if I want to edit it, it will show me the entire thing. It will show me the original link. And if I click on it, it will even show me the original page and where I took it from. I took it from here. In this case, you see the highlighting in various places. I highlighted this. In this case, I've highlighted something else. Okay, I've taken the entire article. Can you see how it allows you to assemble everything? And I've called this entire thing as a Ukraine project. You can have multiple projects and start doing research, collecting information from various websites, do all this clipping, mark it, and ultimately have it in one place. Where is this Wikipedia link? Didn't get it. Yeah, here it is. This is what I had highlighted. Are you seeing how easy it is to collect information and assemble it in one place? Extremely simple and very, very powerful if you are collecting information, putting it together for a project, for a presentation, for a report, anything that you do, you can collect stuff and put it all in one place. Any questions here? This is a little complex, but still very, very, very useful when you are doing research. For example, I took this transforming education. I took it from 2 different places. Then what I can do is I can click on it and see what is this link, where does it come from, what I have highlighted here. I have highlighted this. If I go here, what have I highlighted here? I've taken the, I've highlighted this. Okay.
So Yazdi, can you collect everything into a Word file?
Yeah, so what happens is it all comes to you. So say for example, now in this particular thing, you can have folders and subfolders, etc. And then you can always copy paste this into a Word file. But the point is I'm trying to make is you have all the citations, and see, if you go here, you can add notes to it. Suppose I add a note here. This is very important for the introduction. Okay, so I can create notes for each link. Can you see this? Add a note. And you can show the highlights, you can hide the highlights, you can upload PDFs also. So if you have some information in a PDF format, I don't know whether I uploaded one PDF. You can upload PDF files and then highlight them also and keep it all in one place. Yeah, see, this is a PDF. I picked up this PDF and I started highlighting stuff in this. Normally in PDFs, you can't highlight, but see here, I could highlight a particular para in this PDF also. Then you want to copy something, you can just copy paste from here, because ultimately you want to assemble it in a Word file or in a document file. Yes. No, I don't need to save it. It automatically gets saved. I didn't do anything. For example, here, suppose again I go to that Rediff site and I say, only thing is you have to be in that particular folder. So if you're doing a Ukraine project, you have to be in the Ukraine folder and then come here, highlight this. Page is not loaded yet. Highlight it, select a color, and automatically it saves. You don't need to save it. That is the beauty of this. It is very, very useful. The page is still loading. I don't know why it's taking so much time. The minute I select something, automatically I give this. Now, for example, now I want citations, I want some, and okay, here you can even decide where it will go. It will go to Ukraine project, it will go to transforming education project, it will go to my research. Okay, I can select this and automatically it will save it there. I don't have to say save or anything. The highlighting is automatic. Just when you highlight, automatically it saves it there. I didn't say save or anything. I just have to highlight it. See, wherever the highlights are there, it will show you. Okay. This helps you again. There is a premium version. In the free version, there is a limitation of storage. Only up to 100 MB you can store. But then what is 100 MB? It is not the entire web page it is counting. It is just counting the link and the highlighting. That's all. So even though I have so many articles which have been saved, if you see this, so many articles I have saved. It's only using 195 KB. So don't worry about too much about this, the size. But if you want more features, definitely then you might have to. Let's see what the features. It says 3.99 per month. It will show you the premium features. So unlimited highlights and unlimited notes are common. Highlight colors you can change. Unlimited subfolders. In free, you have limited subfolders. Then collaboration, if you want to share all your research with somebody else and you want to collaborate, that you can do in premium. In premium, you can even save images. Here we were only talking of text. And then of course, there is an unlimited storage limit, and you can sync with unlimited devices. And see, here it is there. Now, types of document for export, you can export it to Word file, Excel file, TXT, CSV, etc., etc. And citations, you can have citations also available. It is available in the free version also. Citation is available in the free version. And then you can do search within all that you have collected. If you say student, then you can look for something within a particular group. Let me see, in Ukraine project, there can be something called student. So filter all the things which have student in them. It is searching. This is very useful because it is actually scanning an external website and giving you extracts out of it, which you can ultimately export. Okay, so you have this option of share a collection, so you can collaborate with other people. Very good for people who are doing research and people who are any questions on this? It is taking time to do a filtering. You can change the order. You can say group by website, group by color, or order by old to new or new to old. So if you're doing research, today you find out something, tomorrow you find out something, so you can change the order of your items also. Extremely useful extension. Just two more to go. There is something called TextBlaze. Remember shortcuts we had done some time back. This extension is called TextBlaze. Are you able to see it? Once you install the extension, it comes and sits here on top. Okay, so whenever you are in a text mode, say for example, you're typing a mail and you have a whole lot of stuff which you do repetitively, correct? And you don't want to type again and again and again. So what do? You use something called text. Okay, let me go to compose window. So I want to make a shortcut of so many things. I have repetitively, like I have to say, thank you for your email. So this is the first sentence I write. Hi, thank you for your email. Okay. Now this I am doing it maybe multiple times in a day, 20 times in a day probably. What I do is I go to TextBlaze and create a shortcut. Okay, so how do I create a shortcut? I go to the dashboard. I say plus, create a new new snippet, and I say it is called thank you. And what it is, I'll just give some indication. Thank you for, okay, thank you. And here, whatever text I write, it will replicate. Thank. See, our Grammarly is working again and again. Can you see this? Now, this is what you are writing on a daily basis. Okay, here extra space was there, so it has removed it. So what I have made a shortcut called /ty, right? And I want all this text to come. So when I am in the mail, I am typing this multiple times in a day, right? So I just say /ty. Can you see it comes instantly? This was the shortcut I created /ty. This is the text I wrote, and wherever I put /ty, this whole thing will come. Next mail, again I say /ty, it comes automatically. It is very, very powerful. Just create a shortcut for whatever you want, and some samples are already given. If you want to write like this, you want to do bold, underline, colors, everything can be possible. The paid version even allows you to put pictures, but otherwise you can do a whole lot of stuff. So this is called style. So if I just say /style, the whole thing can come wherever you type the shortcut. Are you getting this? Any questions? No, you can create whatever. Why we put a slash? We can put a hash just to distinguish it. Otherwise, wherever you put style, then the whole thing will come. So you always want to distinguish it. You can put a hash, you can put whatever. Okay, so when you say hash style, now you say hash style, you'll get the whole thing. Okay, because if you don't distinguish it, then what happens? Let us see. So if you want to write style in something else, even as part of your text, the whole thing will be replicated. This is my style. So the minute I say style, the whole thing will come. So you put your hash or slash or whatever to distinguish it from your normal text. Otherwise, it will keep on interrupting you wherever you are typing. Now, how you can use it? You can create lots of, see, I have created some signatures. So I have created 3 types of signatures. So whenever I am typing, I am wearing multiple hats. So I say /sig simple. This is my signature for, where is my, okay, this is one signature. If I say my other signature, are we getting this? Anything that is repetitive, which you want to avoid typing again and again, you can use TextBlaze. And this helps you to quickly. Now the beauty, there are lots of text expanders. I think we have done earlier also a couple of text expanders. But now in this text expander, you have something very unique. You can create something like this. Invoice, for example, I have created one. Now what I am saying is, I am enclosing an invoice. Dear sir, encloses our invoice dated so and so. So it will be the current date. Please note that the invoice will be due on so and so date, which will be 1 month from the current date. Please ensure that the invoice is paid in time to avoid any late payment charges. Thank you, etc., etc. So if I type this /inv, today it will show you enclosed is our invoice dated 4th March. Please note that the invoice will be due on 4th April. If I type this tomorrow, the whole thing will be 5th March and 5th April. This is very, very dynamic. So how do you do the dynamic stuff? If you want to insert a date, you go down below. There is something called current date. Just click on it. It gives you all the formats. You can write the format here. And then if you want to shift the date, you can say date plus 1 week plus 1 month plus 1 year plus 1 day plus 2 days plus 3 days, or time. Or it can be start of next month. If you want to say start of next month. Now see what will happen. This is today's date and this is 1st of next month. So the same thing I will run /inv. March 4th and next month 1st of April. Okay, the formats are slightly different. So that is okay. You can change the format again. You can go here, change the format. You can make it DDMMYY. You can shift how much you want to shift. You want to shift. One second. Move 1st day of the next month. Or you want to do the 1st day of the next 2 months. After 2 months, something is due. Shift a fixed amount of days. So within 15 days, you want the date to come. Whatever you want to do, you can do this. You have lots of other stuff. You can do the same thing with time. You can do the same thing with insertion of context, autopilot for filling up forms. You have a lot of stuff here. Dynamic content, again, filling up forms becomes easy. All this again will be more and more on the paid version. The simple thing is you can do a typo correction, you can do forms, you can do signatures. I have created all these. Are we getting this? Yes, yes, of course you can highlight. So when you are doing this, you can always select bold, underline, whatever you want to do. You can underline it, do whatever you want to do, or you can give a color to it. Images are allowed in the paid version. Images, scanned signature becomes an image. So if you try to insert an image in snippets are only available to pro users. Okay. Again, it's not very expensive. According to me, for the type of features that it gives you, it is not at all expensive. All these are less than $50 a year. And that I feel is reasonable when you are using it day in and day out without any difficulty. You save so much of time. It's amazing. You can create your own snippets, and in the paid version, you can make 1,000 snippets. Don't ever make 1,000 snippets because you will never remember each of the shortcuts. That is the important point. So maximum you'll use 10, 20, 30 snippets, and that's about all. Otherwise, it is impossible to remember so many. Then again and again, you'll have to come back here and look up what is the shortcut for that snippet, and which defeats the very purpose. So try with 4 or 5, then slowly improve upon it and increase it over a period of time, which will make life much easier. Any other questions? I think we are at the end of today's session. So all our extensions help us in improving and enhancing the value of our browser, which the browser itself does not have. As you will observe, I have got more than 20, 30 sessions, 20, 30 extensions, and I use many of them. You can disable or enable the extensions whenever you want at will, and they will not bother you. Any other questions?
No, that was really good. Thank you very much, Ashley. That was brilliant. Thank you.
You should be able to use most of this on a daily basis. Especially if you are doing writing work, if you are doing research, if you are collecting stuff from multiple sources. And remember, that guy Grammarly also talks about plagiarism. So if you are trying to use too much of information which is already available online, it will also tell you that this looks plagiarized.
Yes.
That's good. That's very good.
Yeah.
Can you check somebody else's document for plagiarism? Like, for example, our students give us projects, okay, and we know it's got copy paste.
So you copy paste it in your document. Yes. When you go to Google Docs, you just copy paste it and then check for plagiarism. But plagiarism checking also, it goes through millions of websites and checks. So if that guy is smart enough and makes changes in the context or in the tense or something like that, then it is difficult to decipher. But yes, it is possible. If it is directly copy pasted, then 100% it will be caught.
Good for us.
Yeah. Yeah, the relative amount of memory these extensions take up. Well, what happens is that these days memory is bountiful. So you don't have to worry too much about the memory. If you have a 8 GB machine, normally Chrome is a little heavy on memory usage. But then most of the time, if you are using Chrome, you don't need to go outside Chrome. You will automatically use everything within Chrome. You don't even have to go to your desktop. If you notice, your Google Docs is there, your Sheets is there, your presentations is there. What more do you need? So all the time your Chrome is always on. And that is why I like that background thing, which makes it much more pleasant to look at. So you don't have to worry about, yes, there is an additional memory load on the machine, but it should not bother you much. Google manages the memory also in a very, very efficient way.
But
In
it
fact,
may slow you down a little bit.
unless you have 2 GB RAM, then it will slow you down. But if you have 8 GB, which is now more or less standard, if you have 16 GB, then you will not even feel a few milliseconds here and there. So it should not matter really. Definitely there is a resource usage. That is for sure. You can't say that it doesn't use any resources. Obviously, there has to be a usage on resources. And the best part is that these extensions you can switch on and switch off at will. So suppose you're doing a heavy stuff or you're doing some project where you're doing some research, you can switch it on and then you can switch it off when you're not doing that. You can't be doing that all the time. If you're doing it all the time, you need to have it all the time, any case. So even Grammarly, if you are writing some very serious stuff or a project report and you want something to be 100% accurate, definitely you will want to use Grammarly. But in your normal casual correspondence, you may not want to use it. So you can switch it off. So this is all switchable at will. Quickly, I will show you if you want. Just one second. Let me start the browser again. I wanted to show you how you can okay, now you can see my screen.
Yes.
So all the extensions come and sit here on top. Okay. And this funny puzzle sort of a thing on top right, it shows you all the extensions. Can you see the pop-up that has come, or is it not visible?
It's visible.
It's visible. Okay, so here you see which are the extensions which are on and which are the extensions which are off. Or you have this option to manage the extensions. So you can go to manage extensions and you'll see how many extensions I have. Some are off, some are on. You can remove it. You can see the details. See, this one is on. I can switch it off anytime. I can switch. Okay, so if I don't want this Gmail tables, I switch it off. Cloud HQ, I don't want, switch it off. Okay, dictation I wanted, Convertio I wanted. If you remember, we have done most of these extensions. Okay, so this one I don't want, so I just switch it off. When I want it, I can just come. I don't have to remove it from here. I just switch it off. I can switch it on at will. Okay, so when I switch it off, it is not using that much of memory. That is how it works. Are we clear on this?
Yes.
So and what appears here is what is pinned. So if you see here, the pin is active here, pin is active here, this is inactive. So this is not pinned, but it's still there in the background. Okay. So if I pin it, it remains here. If I unpin it, it goes off from this bar. So there is a pinning where it is visible here. There is a enabling, disabling, which is part of the extensions. And you can remove it. If you are tired of that extension, you can just say remove and it automatically goes off. It's as simple as that. You don't have to. You see, I have so many extensions, but I have never felt that the browser is tardy or. So you don't have to worry too much as far as the memory is concerned. As far as enabling, disabling of extensions is concerned, it is very, very simple. Okay, any other questions? You're saying something, Owen, you're on mute.
Sorry, yeah, sorry, Riley. You a while back you talked about print friendly, which I've used quite often.
Okay.
What's the difference between that and Mercury Reader, or do they complement each other?
That is for printing. This is only for reading. Mercury Reader is only allowing you to read online. It just removes the stuff. Print friendly is majorly for printing. So you just click on it and print without the diversions.
Yeah, I think I'm old enough to prefer reading on paper than on the screen. Thanks very much. Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you very much. Have a good evening. Good night.
Thank you. See you next month.
Thank you, SD.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.